And the nominees are Sitting on the Bus, Trying to Get to Sleep, Workout, and Going for a Walk. And the winner is
Drum roll.
you for listening to the PCMR podcast.
Yeah, woo, yeah.
Woo. I just like to thank my mom and my dad and my producers and my 600 interns for making this all possible. Oh, nope, that's the Emmys playoff music. Okay, guys, I'll see you later. On with the podcast.
Yeah.
Pop Culture Master Race.
Does mother know you wear it for drapes?
All your pop culture needs. And here are your hosts, Aiden Munga and Brett Page.
Hello, and welcome back to the PCMR podcast, where we talk about movies, TV shows, video games, comic books, and things we see in the room to try and make the list a bit more interesting. Like, at the moment, I can see some art, a lamp, and a book by Greg Mills called Why States Recover, Changing Walking Societies into Winning Nations from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe.
Fancy. I have an empty packet of pods, an empty Pringles can, and a bag of cashews.
Nice. I also have Game of Thrones seasons 1 through 3 on DVD.
Is this what this podcast is going to be now? Just an hour of us naming things through in our bedroom?
Yeah, you got to state where's your surroundings, so people have some context for where you're coming from with our opinions. Like, oh, I can see why he would think that about the Emmys. He's got a DVD of Game of Thrones right in front of him. Of course his opinion is biased.
Cup of water.
Always pro water, aren't you, Brett?
Yeah. It's just, I've got my biases.
Well, we've got a lot of things to talk about. As you can probably guess, the Emmys, they happened.
Yeah, they were a thing that definitely happened.
Over like a couple of days. Like, I didn't actually know when the Emmys were because they always announce like technical stuff beforehand. So I'm like, did the Emmys happen or is this the lead up to the Emmys? I'm so
no, I
confused.
didn't realize the Emmys had happened until they already happened and everyone was talking about it.
Because they kept announcing like, oh, someone won an Emmy like over like a week. And I was like, so did the Emmys happen or
Yeah.
when did they happen?
It's like a slow leak. Just like all those celebrities are sitting in the room for like a whole week.
Like, sit down, guys. We have a lot of awards to hand out. It's
Like
gonna take a while.
One award every 2 hours.
Ha! We've decided to take off the time limits for speeches, so now just speak as long as you want, and then whenever you're done, we'll start on
Oh,
the
their
next
time
award.
limits are so short. They cut off so many people.
Mm.
Like,
And now everyone's like trying to state like a message like Black Lives Matter, you guys, and women in Uganda need drinking water and cell phones. All right. Thank you for nominating me for the award of Best Booty Clapper. I'll get off the stage now. I was like, whatever it is.
was there like a running joke for a lot of the guys this year that they were just thanking their wives, but they were saying like, thanks to my chain or something like that?
It's like everyone's like, oh, the old ball and chain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like 3 guys in a row said thanks to their chain. Then one old guy was like, thanks to my chain. I think that's what they were saying.
Who knows, man? All right, we've also got some more stuff about that Batman movie coming up. Some news,
Got some
other DC stuff.
some more technology news. Slipping a little bit of that in there.
Some sequels are happening. What's going on there? Little bit of Marvel news because hey, we're riding that Marvel.
What do you think
Marvel
this
train.
is? Fucking
We'll throw
DC
some in
cast?
there. No.
No.
Updates on what's happening with that new Star Trek show. And some movies are coming out. They've dropped some trailers. We're going to talk about them. But first, let's get into those Emmys. Brett, how do you feel about the Emmys? Do you think they got it right?
Will they ever? I look at the awards, and a lot of the times I think it's hard to choose things because there's a lot of things that we as viewers don't see all of. Like, I think the best comedy went to Veep. Have you ever seen Veep?
I haven't seen it, but from what I could tell, it's good. So I'm not disappointed about that.
Yeah, but
Also, it is an election year, so it kind of makes sense that it would go
it's
to like a
it's like a
political comedy.
Yeah. No, but what was it going against? I've got the list here.
It was up against like Master of None.
Yeah, it was up against
and-
Master of None, which I really liked.
Which is the one I saw. But I was kind of like, something that's worth talking about is how many Netflix shows are nominated. Like,
Yeah,
not all the
Master
ones I
of-
want to be nominated,
'cause
but
Master
like
of
a
None
lot of
was a
them.
Netflix original, and it won Best Writing for a Comedy.
Yeah, won Best Writing for a Comedy. Ben Mendelsohn, bloody Australian legend, Ben Mendo, he won for supporting actor role for starring in Bloodline, which is a Netflix series. House of Cards was nominated a bunch. Jessica Jones won for Best Theme. Not even the
theme music.
Not even the animation for the theme, just the theme song, which is, hey, that's something.
The problem is it had so much good things about it, but that was the only one that got any recognition.
Yeah, also, the problem is, like, it was also going up, like, against a lot of good stuff. The problem with TV today, which is a weird problem to have, is that there's too much good stuff out there. And for, like, pretty much every, like, award that I cared about, and I saw, like, oh, who won? Well, that's good. Yeah, I'm actually glad they won. That's all right. Like, for years past, it was like Modern Family would win Best Comedy, and I'd be like, why? The show isn't funny. Makes no goddamn
I think
sense.
I
But
liked
this year it was
Modern
like,
Family for like the first season.
it's just,
I think
it's
that's
the same.
everyone. I think everyone liked Modern Family for the first season.
And it shows up and you're like, oh, it's a bunch of different families. This is interesting. And then it just kept going and going and going. You're like, this is old. You've done this already.
Yeah,
Next.
like all the kids are like now like 20 something years old, and they're all still living in the same house.
It's just like, yeah, guys, and if you're gonna move out, do something. Nope. Okay, that's fine.
And I remember the story that the youngest one, if she had like G-sized tits, and she had to get a boob reduction, and everyone's like, "Oh, you shouldn't be ashamed of yourself." Like, no, it is unpractical to have boobs that big.
Yeah,
Gets
she
to a
would
point where
have.
it
She would have had
hurt-
some serious back problems.
Yeah,
She
it
would
would
have
hurt
been like,
your
no,
back. You wouldn't be able to see your feet.
no. You'd be like, what? I have feet. Since when?
Yeah. So, if you have G-sized boobs, don't listen to people say, "Oh, you're beautiful the way you are. You don't need to change." No, that is a freaking nuisance to you.
If that's causing like serious aches and pains, get that reduced, man.
Yeah. Don't listen. See, some people are so PC that they're being anti-PC. Do you get that?
I get it.
Like
There's a lot
it's
of
like
there's a
when
lot of that going around.
It's like when guys say, "Oh, you don't need to wear makeup. You're beautiful without it." But girls are like, "But I like wearing makeup." So you're telling me I'm not beautiful for wearing makeup? That's
like-
kind of shit.
Makeup, which I've realized, it's not for men. It's something that women just like
No.
do at the moment.
It's such an
They like doing it.
It's such an ego thing that men think women wear makeup just so that they're attractive to us.
That's like a competition between them. That's like some weird sub ritual.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I don't know what the fuck's going on
girls, if you like
there. It
wearing
costs
makeup,
so much. It's
God.
crazy.
Girls, if you like wearing makeup, keep wearing it. If you don't like wearing makeup, don't wear it. You do you.
You do you, girl.
Guys as
You do
well.
you,
Guys-
fam.
Guys, if you want to wear makeup, go wear makeup.
Go do it, man. I don't care. Whatever people are doing, as long as it's not hurting anybody, you do you. Anyway, back to these Emmys. Let's talk about some other stuff that won. I was pretty glad that the Game of Thrones episode Battle of the Bastards won a heap of awards. It won like a bunch of stuff for directing, writing,
Well, Game of Thrones
production
in general
design.
won the outstanding drama.
Yeah, it's now won like 38 Emmys. It's the most decorated TV show at the Emmys in history.
What else is there? Writing
It's
for a
doing crazy
comedy
well.
special went to Patton Oswalt. I agree with that. That's one I liked.
That was pretty good. John Oliver won for writing.
Yeah, and
I was
there
pretty happy with
there
that.
was that funny bit with Jimmy Kimmel and Matt Damon after it.
That was pretty good. They're like, ah,
See you
you
at the
didn't
after
win?
party.
hey,
What after party?
tough break, man, tough break. He was all right. I didn't watch a lot of the stuff because it doesn't air in Australia. I watched
Yeah,
like a few highlights. I watched
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
same
intro
here.
thing he did and the maiden speech and the.
Do you see the
That's
stuff
it.
with the freaking Stranger Things kids? They came
I
up
didn't
on
see
the-
that.
They went out and the bikes they had in the show, and they were handing
Huh.
out PB&Js to everyone.
Oh, that's nice. That's good.
Yeah.
Good on those kids. Those
Oh.
kids seem to be like doing pretty well, and I like
Oh,
that
yeah,
they've
they-
got like a group of them,
They keep
so
making
they're not just like dealing with all this like fame and sudden attention by themselves. There's like a group of people that's like, hey, you know how crazy this is.
Well, if you
we can all
actually
stick
look at them,
together.
a lot of them have been doing a lot of stuff. Like the kid who played Dustin, He was in like the Broadway thing of Les Mis.
Oh, good on him. Was he the hello, but my
Yeah.
name's Gavroche? That kid.
Yeah, that one. He was that kid. Yeah. So he had some fucking pipes on him.
Oh, good on him.
And then there's that video where 11 raps to Nicki Minaj.
I feel like every like little white girl can rap to Nicki Minaj. Though. That's just a thing they can do, right? That's a
It's
new
just-
skill that
It's just
children have these
ingrained in
days.
all little white girls.
It's like, yeah, they just put a little chip on them. It's like, and now you can rap like Nicki Minaj. I don't like Nicki Minaj, but you can rap like her. Okay.
No, apparently there was like lots of people criticizing the Emmys for handing out peanut butter. Like, you don't just hand out peanut butter to people. People have allergies. Like, if you don't have allergies, just don't eat it.
Just don't.
Just don't eat it. You know you have the allergy. Don't
there
eat
is
it.
nothing you can do that won't offend someone. Which sometimes I like agree, like, oh, that thing's offensive. That is offensive. Probably shouldn't do that. But sometimes it's like goes so far that you're just like, you're diminishing all this other stuff people are trying to accomplish by being petty about some bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, it was a nice thing. The kids giving out PBJs. And there was the joke that it was just Jimmy Kimmel's mum in the back room making all the sandwiches.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. But everyone's like, oh, you can't give peanuts out to people with allergies. If you have allergy, just don't eat it.
Just don't eat it. Who else won? I'm trying to think. Rami Malek won for Mr. Robot, which is great because that show is amazing, and he's amazing in that show.
Key and Peele won Best Variety Sketch Series.
Oh, nice. That's pretty sweet.
Writing for a drama series went to Game of Thrones.
Good.
Supporting actress in a drama series went to Maggie Smith for fucking Downtown Abbey. God.
Is it Downton or Downtown? I think it's Downton.
Downton. I always say Downtown.
Didn't Jimmy Kimmel make a joke about, like,
Going
if she's not here to pick up
downtown.
this award, she can't get it? Did she show up?
No, she's never there. She always wins, but she's never there. That's why Jimmy Kimmel made the joke. It's like, if you want it, it'll be in the Lost and Found.
Well, good. Don't give it to her. If she can't be bothered to go and pick it up, like, how many times has she won that award?
Yeah, exactly.
You shouldn't get it. Give it to someone who's there.
Like, if you actually have stuff on, like, you know, you're filming for something or whatever, yeah, fair enough. But everyone else can manage going, and if you're because at this point, if she's not going to every one of them, she must just have something against the Emmys. Like, she must
Keep
have.
awarding her. What?
Yeah, and so if
Should
she
stop giving her the goddamn award.
if
How
she
good can
obviously
she be
doesn't
on
want
Downton
it-
Abbey?
No, I
There are
don't.
much better actresses out there, I'm sure. Well, not
Yeah.
better, but yeah, no, better. Definitely better.
Yeah.
Screw Maggie Smith.
Yeah,
Just because you did Harry Potter, you think you can get away with this shit. Nah.
she's not the best actress in the world. God, no.
No. Anyway, who else was winning? There was a bunch of other stuff that won that I was pretty happy with winning. Like the American Crime Story, the O.J. Simpson thing.
Yeah.
I was so happy that went
Sarah Paulson won the best actor for that.
good. And she brought the lawyer with her. All the lawyers on that show won, which was good because that show was amazing and the lawyers on it were amazing. Johnny Cochran. Oh,
Wasn't fucking
so
David
good.
Schwimmer Rob Kardashian?
Yeah, he was. Did you not watch that show?
No, I didn't.
Watch it, man. It's real good.
Is it?
Highly recommend it. Yeah.
What is it like? 4 episodes?
It's like 10.
Oh, 10. Yeah, I knew it wasn't long.
It's like 8 or 10. But it's just like it all wraps it up in like 10 episode thing. It's gonna be kind of like American Horror Story, but instead of like horror, it'll follow like some true crime thing. So if it keeps up this kind of quality and does like some other big like interesting case, then I'd be happy to watch another one of these.
Okay, so it is going to keep going. It's not just the one.
I think so,
thing
yeah.
Of O.J. Simpson.
It'll be like a different cast, a different
Yeah.
story.
It'll especially
whatever,
go well
each
if they
season.
keep doing those real controversial cases like the O.J. Simpson one. Like maybe they do Oscar Pistorius next.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Nice. All right, I'd watch that. Okay, well,
The Voice
I think we
won best reality competition.
I thought someone else won best like reality thing. I don't think
No, it says here on my thing I've got up that it
Okay.
was The Voice.
I saw a thing somewhere where it was like The Voice up against some other like variety show, and something like Good won instead.
Well, this was The Voice, The Amazing Race, American Ninja Warrior,
Oh,
Dancing with the Stars.
Whatever, who
Project
cares who wins
Runway,
that?
and Top Chef.
Crazy
Doesn't your-
Ex-Girlfriend won for choreography, which is good because that show is actually
Nice.
surprisingly really good.
I I don't think my list I have here is. It's so hard to find a full list of everything because there was actually so many fucking awards.
I was just going by the website. Like, I was going on there and like seeing, what has won? And I was like, okay, these are all good. No, pretty much like all like the good stuff I watched this year, last year, won. So I'm pretty happy. The only thing that I'm kind of bummed out that wasn't like really nominated were like my superhero people. Like, I feel like David Tennant should have been nominated. He was amazing.
yeah,
Kristen Ritter should have been nominated. John Bernthal, I don't know if he can be like nominated next year because like I don't know how like where they cut off like you were this part of the year you can be in it. I don't know what the cutoff date is, but John Bernthal should be nominated for an Emmy. He was amazing.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Charlie Cox. Yeah, give him one. He's really good in that show. I don't know. I just feel like they're being like a little snubbed at the moment, but maybe
I feel like the critics and these high class acting society things don't take the superhero stuff seriously.
which I don't quite understand because like Daredevil and Jessica Jones were like really critically well renowned.
Yeah,
so, like
and they're not even real superhero stuff. Jessica Jones, superpowers, whatever.
It's set in like a
they're
superhero
literally
universe.
Crime dramas. They're
Yeah.
crime dramas.
I kind of understand with Daredevil, but Jessica Jones really should have gotten more recognition.
Is there an award for like best choreography? Because Daredevil should have fucking won that if there is.
There isn't. There is, but it's for like dance stuff. Like there isn't like a stunt.
If there was like an
award.
stunt or action choreography,
There should be an award
Daredevil.
for stunt choreography. Like they're talking about that now with like the Oscars. Like there's a bunch of like lobbyists saying like, "Fuck, they need it," because
Yeah, they
these
do.
are like one of the like largest proponents of the Hollywood industry, and they don't get no recognition from like the big award shows, which is ridiculous because they should. Like Mad Max should have won for choreography.
Yeah,
fucking
Mad
all these-
Max like cleaned the floor with all the technical awards anyway.
I don't know. I think we've talked about the Emmys long enough. Let's get into
Yeah.
some.
Oh, that was always going to be a long one.
Let's get into some superhero shit. Talk about that Batman tactical suit. It was Batman Day. Brett, what did you do to celebrate Batman Day?
I completely forgot until it was like midnight and I saw a post. I'm like, oh, okay.
Same here. That was me with Talk Like a Pirate Day as well. I was like, oh, it's Talk Like a Pirate Day? Oh, yesterday. Oh, I guess.
Well. I am not sorry.
But yeah, for Batman Day, we got two new things. We've got this Batman tactical suit and
Which
a
is a
picture of Jim Gordon being portrayed by the one and only actor whose name I've forgotten because I'm real bad with names.
Isn't it J.K. Simmons?
Yeah, J.K. Simmons. That's who it is.
How do you forget J.K. Simmons' name?
I don't know how I forgot J.K. Simmons' name, okay? Get
Okay.
off my back.
Okay.
Sometimes
I'm
I
off it.
forget names because I could picture him in my mind and I'm like, J. Jonah Jameson. Fuck, no, that's the other one.
He's just J. Jonah Jameson for you always, isn't he?
Yeah, well, now I guess he'll be Jim Gordon. But yeah,
Spider-Man.
we got some Batman stuff. Brett, what did you think of this tactical suit?
Get rid of the goggles and it's fine.
Yeah, I don't exactly get how it's tactical. It just looks beefier, like more stuff on it. I think there was like a little thing released on like why he needs it. Like it's something that's going to happen in the third act of Justice League where he needs some more like armor and padding and stuff to go up against these parademons. So, which I guess makes sense.
Why do they
Like-
need the goggles though?
I feel like they're part of like something he needs to like control like one of the vehicles he has, like the Fox or something, whatever it's called, the Flying Fox, or the Batwing or the Batmobile.
The goggles still look fucking lame.
They do look kind of lame, and they do look very kind of like Owlman.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe in motion they'll be more interesting, and I don't know.
Wasn't there a lot of people saying that it looked very similar to the fucking like Nazi Batman?
Yeah, there was an issue. I think Earth 10 Batman in this multiverse thing where like he was a Nazi, and they look kind of similar, and like people are putting that up as like, oh, these not real comic book fans, that's where they're getting the inspiration for this Batsuit. Oh, of course Batman wears goggles, and then it was like, isn't that Nazi Batman? They were like, oh, shut the fuck up, just because it's Nazi Batman. You fucking Marvel fans, you're writing Marvel's dick. You don't know anything about DC. It's just why the reason I kind of hate
Why do they all sound like Islanders?
I don't know. In my mind, they're just kind of like, oh, fuck you. You don't know anything about DC. DC's the greatest. Oh my god, because it's dark and it's gritty and it's like more realistic. It's like, how is it more realistic? It's still idiots in costumes punching things that don't exist. Well, shut up. You don't know anything, okay? It's like, it's dumb.
I'm just
except that it's
imagining
dumb.
Islanders arguing about superhero films right now, and it's pretty funny.
Anyway, the point is, I don't know, goggles look dumb. I don't get how the suit is more tactical, but maybe in motion it'll be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe this film won't be a complete bag of trash. Maybe DC has something up its sleeve.
Maybe it will be.
Hopefully. We can only speculate.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Stop
stuff we
creaking
can't-
chair, god damn it.
Speaking of stuff we can't speculate about, let's do a little bit more Batman news, and then we'll get to some other stuff. Let's just get us all out of the way right now.
Let's do it. Let's do that. Get all over that shit.
We saw that clip of Deathstroke released by Ben Affleck, and everyone was like, hey, Joe Manganiello, or however you pronounce his name.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
I'm going to say Manganiello. That sounds about right.
That
Joe
sounds close.
Manganiello should play Deathstroke. And everyone, we were
Everyone's
right.
like, yeah, we were right. And
He is playing Deathstroke.
what have you seen him in?
I have seen him in True Blood, where he plays a werewolf man. He's pretty good in that. He's very gruff. This is fine to me. He's a beefy dude, and he's got a graying beard. Perfect. That's Deathstroke.
Yeah, I only know him from How I Met Your Mother, and
Who was he on How I Met Your Mother?
he was like a supporting character. He was
Okay.
not in it a lot. His name was Brad. He went to law school with Marshall.
Oh, okay. Oh, fun fact, he was also in the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man. He played Flash Thompson.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, he was the guy who tried to swing at Peter Parker, and now he's Deathstroke. How about
Nice.
that?
No, I like this because I think, in my mind, Deathstroke is a little Italian. So I like to have someone who looks a little Italian doing him.
Okay. I heard little Italian, and I know you meant like just a little bit Italian, but I heard like a tiny Italian, like
Like a little Italian.
I'm
Like-
a little Italian man.
like a little Mario. But Mario before
I'm
he
coming to get you. Yeah, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I was picturing Mark Banana from Auntie Donna as Deathstroke. No, you can't catch me, Batman, because I'm little and Italian. Actually, no, that's what I want to see as Deathstroke. Mark Banana.
Okay.
And Broden Kelly can be Batman. Hello, I'm Batman. And I'm Zachary Ruane. I'm the Joker. See? Ugh.
You should tell them to do that sketch. Go.
I should.
As-
Using my comedian phone, which I use to contact comedians.
Yeah. Oh, that's how you all do it. Comedian phone.
It's a secret comedian phone. It's, well, I can't tell what it looks like, because then you'd have one, and then it wouldn't be a secret comedian club for comedians who tell jokes, see?
I'm on to you.
Send in the drone strike at 043866. No, it doesn't matter. Anyway,
Are you giving out my coordinates, Aiden?
yeah, your coordinates. What do you see? You happy with this? He seems like a good.
Yeah,
Good Deathstroke.
As I said before, you got off track
Mm.
with your racism, but Lily, he's a bit Italian,
Yeah,
and I
alright.
think Deathstroke should be a bit Italian.
Okay. Yeah, he seems fine to me. It's basically the same situation where it was like people were fan casting Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, and then that happens. I'm like, oh, fan casting works. Well, shit. What else can we fan cast?
Well, I think it's just if something's so universally like everyone can see it like that. Like,
yeah.
like who else would you think Doctor Strange would be? There's no one else.
I don't. No, it seems like a perfect casting right now.
Yeah. That and Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, like, even before he was Iron Man, who else could be Iron Man? No one. No one else could be Iron Man.
Well, if this fan casting stuff can work, then I want Ryan Potter to, the guy who voiced Hero on Big Hero 6. He did like a little fan video thing where he set up like a choreographed fight as like an audition tape to Ben Affleck to say like, hey, I should be Robin. I should be Tim Drake. So I'm like, yeah, make that guy Tim Drake. Make Stephen Lang fucking Cable. Get all this
Stephen
fan casting
Lang,
shit
Cable.
happening.
I still want Deadpool to have the joke of Keira Knightley being Cable. Like, to me, it's either Stephen Lang or Keira Knightley.
See, it's like when you say Keira Knightley as like Cable, it kind of just in my mind looks like Charlize Theron as Furiosa, but Keira Knightley hanging out with. Imagine that Furiosa hanging out with Deadpool.
That's
Actually, yeah, make that happen. Keira Knightley as Cable.
Yeah. Cable could be a woman. Why not?
Speaking of women, Margot Robbie, who is another Australian, Robbie, however you, I don't know how people pronounce it differently. I've given up on knowing how to pronounce people's names. Harley Quinn, bloody Australian, bloody actor. She is real happy with playing Harley Quinn. So happy, in fact, that she is now going through her production company, producing a Harley Quinn movie, which will feature multiple women from the DC universe, including possibly Birds of Prey and the bombshells of Poison Ivy, Catwoman, and all that. What do you think, Brett?
Yeah, I think it was always going to happen. Because there's been talk about this movie happening for a while, so I'm just like, when they say, yeah, it's definitely happening, and she's executive producer, I'm like, yep, that's makes sense.
Yeah, she seems to really like playing Harley Quinn, which hopefully this will be more interesting than in Suicide Squad. She was fine in Suicide Squad, fine enough for me to go like, go on, make another one. But
keep going.
Yeah, it could be better, and this could be more interesting. I'm happy to see like a film with like a bunch of like superhero and supervillain women going at it. I have no idea what the story could be because I haven't read a lot of Harley Quinn's solo stuff. But I'm sure better people than me can write in and tell us what some good
honestly,
stuff.
Right now, it's probably going to sound like me being a little bitch. I am so sick of how everyone is suddenly in love with Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
It's like, it's all I see now. Just people like, oh my god, I love Harley Quinn. I'm like, a year ago you didn't. Before you saw the first trailer for Suicide Squad, you couldn't give a shit. Now every girl, she wants to cosplay Harley. Everyone's talking about how much they love her. It's just, the bandwagoners.
Yeah, it's like when before there was like a lot of like people cosplaying as Deadpool all the time at conventions. Now there's like twice as many. It's just gonna be twice as many Harley Quinns, and it's just like, ugh.
I mean, I know this is very
too many.
Yeah, I know this is very like old man yelled at cloud of me, but it's just like, it just so annoys me how everyone just says they're Harley Quinn's absolute biggest fan now. Like, you weren't a year ago.
It's true. Although my friend Jess, she's a pretty big fan. She's got a tattoo of Harley Quinn and the Joker on her legs. So I'd say that counts.
There's always been fans. It's just I'm seeing people that I knew had never fucking talked or posted about Harley Quinn before saying how much they love her on social media now. I'm just like, I fucking hate you and everything you stand for.
True. Anyway, I'm looking forward to this. We need more women in comic book stuff. TV is doing pretty good, but the movies need to catch up. So.
Yeah, some great women in a superhero movie.
And maybe that's how like DC could like try and make themselves different to Marvel, where Marvel is like, and then in 2019 we'll finally make a woman leading role, Carol Danvers. Hooray, Captain Marvel. Like DC can be like, next year's Wonder Woman, and then we're gonna have some more DC villains and stuff, and all this women everywhere.
To put this in perspective, Marvel have Vision, who is a fucking robot, before they have a proper female superhero.
That's true. Although I guess Black Widow and Scarlet Witch, but they're still kind of like supporting
Scarlet
characters.
Witch was pretty much the same time as Vision, though.
That's true.
And
that's true.
And no Asians yet. Marvel has no Asians.
On TV, they've got them. Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., there's a bunch of them.
Movies, though.
Oh, Colleen Wing is coming to Iron Fist. There you go.
Movies, though.
There's Asian people in Doctor Strange, right? Oh no, wait.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, apparently there's been a big controversy about that because because they cast Tilda Swinton as Ancient One, which so apparently
traditionally an old Asian man.
yeah. So they apparently they knew that people would complain about whitewashing with that, so that's why they actually got an Asian for like the assistant guy. Because apparently they weren't going to cast him, but then
Played
they thought,
by Benedict Wong.
Yeah, then they thought, shit, we have to cast an Asian because people are going to complain about whitewashing. They're like, is it just as bad casting an Asian just to have an Asian than it is to not?
I'm fine. Like, I'm happy they're including the character of Wong because he's a pretty good character and he's more interesting now in the comics than he was. And they've kind of adapted that where he's like a drill instructor, not so much like a butler. So, which is good because that angle is. The Asian butler angle is just weird, but having him be more like a kind of a drill instructor and in charge of the Sanctum Sanctorum makes it better in my mind. And Benedict Wong is an amazing actor. He plays Kublai Khan on Marco Polo, and he is spectacular in that. So
there you go.
Very happy to see him on the big screen. All right, let's move away from that. Talk about this iOS 10. For Apple.
Yes, there has been lots of there's been lots of talk. There's been a little controversy. I think the biggest controversy that everyone is angry about is in the emojis. They have changed the gun emoji to a water pistol emoji.
Which, they're a company, they don't want to be associated with violence, which is fine. Although they still have the bomb and the sword and the knife.
Yeah.
So weird. Just change the one thing people are complaining about and not actual, like, this is our actual policy. It's just like, people complain about this, we'll change it.
It feels like a half measure. Like, if they changed all of them, then yep, I'd be like, fair enough. They're a company. They reserve their right to change that if they want to. But to change the gun and nothing else feels like a half measure.
True.
And, like, the gun, 3/4 of the time, it's kind of used as a joke, like, this funny thing happened, kill myself, gun to the head,
It's mostly used by edgy teenagers.
Yeah, edgy teenagers. And I think edgy teenagers are really the only people who care about the change. Like, I couldn't give a shit. I've never used a gun emoji once.
I can't remember a time I've used a gun emoji. Oh, except for once when someone was like, sent me a text, is like, ugh, stuck at work, kill me. So I sent them the gun emoji. It's like, there you go.
Yeah. This will be fun. Let's go into our phones and take a look at what our most used emojis are.
I know mine is the pink octopus.
Pink octopus?
Because I'm Hydra.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure mine's a pink octopus. Hold on. No, it's fire, actually. It's not the pink octopus. Because I was posting about that Childish Gambino Stranger Things mashup.
Yeah.
And I posted a bunch of, like, fire things.
My most used is the crying laughing face.
Yeah, that's in there.
The one of the woman with her hand out, like the sassy one. Yes, I used the sassy girl emoji.
I have the peach emoji, money flying, nerd face, pink octopus.
I've got a red dot and a white dot, but purely because I talk to my boss and a couple of other friends from work about the footy all the time, and red and white are the colours of my team.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I have a train. I don't know why I have a train.
Okay.
I have the purple devil thing.
Oh, yeah.
An angry face, a kissy face, the okay.
Oh, yeah, I use the
and
okay
of course, and the praying one, the two hands praying. And of course the 2 beers emoji, because we have that as a default emoji.
That is our
on
default
Facebook
emoji, yeah.
Snapchat.
All right. So is there anything else about this iOS 10 that's worth talking about? Because I didn't look it up. I was just like, iOS 10?
I know.
Okie dokie.
I know they've changed the way you unlock your phone, because usually, you swipe, you put in your passcode. Apparently you can't swipe it like that anymore.
Yeah.
And you have to press the home button, then put in your code.
That's annoying.
Yeah. But it's the fact that there was a lot of big changes like that. Changing something like that is something big. And apparently, like, your home screen looks different. Apparently, it's like, rather than a scroll across, it's a scroll up and down thing now.
Oh,
you see
that's different.
And apparently, you see all your notifications on that as well. So, yeah.
Right.
I haven't got it yet because I don't know why my phone hasn't told me to update it to iOS
Well, I'm on a
10 yet.
Samsung, so I'm like...
Yeah. Maybe it's because I have an iPhone 5. Maybe I can't get iOS 10.
That might be it. I've got the S7, so it's It's like the fanciest thing I own, and I'm constantly afraid that I'm going to break it.
When did you get it?
I was like, I hadn't upgraded for like 4 years, and like my plan was actually like pretty much out of date, and I should have upgraded years ago. But like a couple of months ago, start of the year sometime.
Yeah, so it's pretty. So I'm always being pretty behind on phones.
It's the
because
first time
always
I've had a
been
phone that's actually like I see advertised places. I'm like, usually it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, I have this phone that's like 2 years old.
I've never had a. Well, okay, I've had a new phone, but not like new as new. Like I've had it new as I'm the first person to own it, but not new as in the newest one out.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because like this iPhone 5S that I have, I got it a couple of months ago. Because I've always been of the mindset that I can pay $400 for the 5S, or I can pay about $800 more for the 6. What the fuck is the 6 gonna have that is worth that extra money?
True.
That much extra money. It's gonna have nothing that is worth that amount extra.
No.
So I've never have been, and I hope I never will be the kind of person who always has to buy the newest phone. Because I just, not just I don't need it, you don't need it, nobody needs it.
Speaking of extra money, Jurassic World. That was one of the highest grossing films of all time.
And that was one of the best segues we've ever done.
Made $1 billion at the box office. So obviously the sequel is going to be pretty beefed up. And this one is. Brett, guess how much money they're going to spend on Jurassic World 2?
Is it, stab in the dark, 260 million.
Brett, you're correct. It's almost like we have that written down in our show notes.
It's almost like we do.
But we don't, because that'd be cheating. And we don't cheat here.
But we have journalistic integrity.
That we do. Damn, that's a lot of money for a film. And if this was...
Damn, Daniel, back at it again with a large budget. Oh, I hate myself.
Back at it again with those old memes. If this was any other film, like...
Damn, Daniel went on Ellen.
If this was any other film, I'd be like, that's crazy, don't spend that much money. But, hey, dinosaurs made like $1 billion at the box office. Sure. Spend a quarter of that to make that again. That's fine.
And again, with that money, they could make
and that's kind of like the money they spend on an Avengers film, right? They spend like a 250 million.
Yeah, something crazy. But can't they just take that money and just make some real dinosaurs?
You probably could for that kind of money. You probably could just build a real dinosaur.
Yeah, I want dinosaurs.
I'm hoping that the sequel uses more practical effects because, sure, we've come a long way with CGI, but the dinosaurs look more real in the first Jurassic Park than they do in Jurassic World, which is kind of annoying to me. So I want to see more practical dinosaurs. I want the story to be kind of less stupid. I want the sequel to be good because the more I think about Jurassic World, the more I'm like, I don't need to see that again. That wasn't very good. It's kind of real dumb.
Yeah. Well, I think my biggest gripe with it, that it brought up about 3 storylines that they talked about in one scene, then they just never brought them up again.
Yeah, it was very convoluted. I did not appreciate that at all.
Yeah. Like, there was the thing about, in one scene, Chris Pratt wanted to date the chick, then he never asked her about a date again. Then there was this scene where about the kids were like, oh, parents getting a divorce.
I
I'm
remember
sad.
that. I barely remember the film. The thing that I remember the most is the T-Rex and Velociraptor teaming up to take on the Indominus Rex.
Yeah.
The rest is just like a blur.
Like,
that was like the best part of the film. I was like, okay, this was worth it. I got to see this. The rest I'm like,
if you think about it, letting the T-Rex out wasn't the smartest idea, because once the Indominus Rex is gone, you've got to deal with the T-Rex.
Who cares? Everyone's off the island. Who cares? It's a dumb movie full of dinosaurs. Just let them fight.
Yeah. Then it's pretty cool to see Chris Pratt doing that stuff. Because just seeing the fat, funny guy from Parks and Rec being this huge movie star now is still crazy.
It makes no goddamn sense. But hey,
no sense.
He's super charming and super buff now, so let him have it.
Yeah, he's buff. He's an attractive male.
He is,
and he's charismatic. In every role, he has a certain charisma he brings to it, which is brilliant.
What would you like to see in a Jurassic World sequel?
like to see the Andromeda's Rex, but flying. Has wings.
So a
this time.
dragon. You'd like to see a dragon.
a dragon. I'd like to see a dragon.
Okay, yeah. Make it happen. If they can, engineer a different dinosaur, why not engineer a dragon? Jurassic World 2, Dragon Island.
Oh, actually, you know what would be cool?
Hmm?
Oh, what are those? Those ones with the fucking shells that are like the freaking Kabuto from Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
What are they called?
I don't fucking know. Who cares? Horseshoe crabs.
Yeah,
Mm.
I like to see them like walk into a cave and like something's weird. Then they put the light up and there's a million of those shell things are on the roof and start falling down on
Oh.
them. That'd be
Those things are still around. That wouldn't really... You could do that practical. Horseshoe crabs still exist.
Wait, what?
Yeah, man, they're still alive. They're like one of the oldest species out there. Like, horseshoe crabs are still around.
Googling this shit.
We're getting so off track.
Wow. I mean, they look kind of different to the older ones.
They're
but,
pretty
you
much
know.
the same.
Yeah, no, fuck. That's a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that is terrifying.
The world is scary, Brett.
That is absolutely terrifying.
Mm.
I watched the video last night. They were talking about the fucking giant bird-eating spider. And it was like, no.
That's crazy.
No.
You know what could
30
eat a spider,
centimeter
though?
Legs.
A cat.
Dinosaur? Okay.
You know what a
too.
large cat could be called? Could be called a panther. You know what's a cool color for a panther? A black one. Black Panther. They're talking about that movie. Chadwick Boseman.
I hate you.
Chadwick Boseman has been talking about Black Panther a little bit, hinting at what could be featured in the film. One of the things he's hinted at is that we could be seeing previous Black Panthers in the movie, talking about T'Chaka, talking about others whose names I can't remember. But I'd be interested in seeing that. They're going to talk about the origin, the history of the mantle, how, the strongest warrior has to fight to get it. It sounds pretty interesting. I'm hoping this film is amazing. Would you like to see some different time period stuff? I really like in the there was a motion comic series done that aired in Australia first, that featured a scene where Black Panther fought Captain America, but in olden timey days. I'd like to see that. That'd be pretty neat.
That'd be pretty cool, but it wouldn't make sense.
It would make some sense. There were 2 years where Captain America was fighting Hydra. It could be cool to see T'Chaka or someone else, his
but
ancestor,
it would
fighting.
It wouldn't make sense because Steve didn't know anything about the Black Panther in Civil War. So if he'd fought it before, you'd think he'd be like, "Oh, this shit again."
He didn't specifically say he didn't know anything.
Yeah.
It could
Who
happen.
are you? What is it?
I don't know. It doesn't need to happen, but that I just like something like that where you see old timey stuff, or just a scene where Dutch settlers try and conquer Wakanda, and then you see all their technology just fuck them up, super good.
Yeah.
I just want to see
It was
Wakanda
after they
defending itself through the years.
Yeah, because after they tried to get invaded for their vibranium, they're like, "Yeah, let's close this country off and become basically non-existent, even though we're rich as fuck."
Yeah, rich as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this movie.
Here's one thing I like about the Marvel world, different from the DC world. 'Cause in the DC world, they have no cities that are the same as our actual Earth. They have Central City and freaking
Midwest
Gotham
City.
or whatever, and it's
Or
and
Midway
it's so
City.
confusing 'cause,
Gotham. Metropolis.
it's where in America are these cities? What are the populations of these cities? It's all so confusing.
I think Gotham
But
is
Marvel-
in Jersey.
Yeah,
I think.
but Marvel is hey, we're mostly real cities that you know of, so you can get an idea of the landscape. But we're gonna throw in a couple of fake countries like Wakanda and Latveria,
Sokovia.
Sokovia. Yeah, if they want to throw in a country that they can just paint to be complete bad guy terrorists, or B, completely fucking destroy. That's what they do because they don't. Because it's very hard making a movie, especially a Marvel one, and saying "Oh, we're being invaded by the Russians," and real Russia be like, "You fucking what, mate?" That's why you make up a fake country so no one can get offended.
True. I think it was said somewhere that like the DC Earth is like 1.6 times larger than our world is, so that's why they can fit in all these like different cities and stuff.
Yeah, I saw one image, like, 'cause I thought of it one day, I thought, let's try and look up a map that shows all the locations of these cities, and it had the locations, had the populations, like, it said something like, oh, Gotham has a population of 200,000, like, no.
That doesn't make any sense. It
No.
would- like Melbourne
Like,
has
why
like a
would
million,
Batman make
like
all that?
2 million at least.
Yeah, but Gotham is at least, like, a couple million people.
Yeah, it's a few.
So-
There's a few million in there. All right.
Yeah.
That's cool. I want to see this movie. Just bring it out already. Give it to me. Time travel me
Yeah.
there to when it's coming out. I want to see it.
Just go to sleep until then.
You know what I could possibly use to time travel there? Some of that Star Trek technology. They've also time traveled. Star Trek Discovery has been pushed from a January release to a May release date. So more of a summer series than a start of the year series, which if that gives them more time to work on it, that's fine. I still don't actually know who's cast in the show. I don't know whether they're shooting or not. I don't know who's in it. I just know it's going to be airing simultaneously around the world on Netflix. So I'll be able to watch it legally and feel pretty good about myself.
You know what?
Mm.
I've never cared about Star Trek, and I still don't.
Have you seen like the movies though?
Nah.
What? You haven't even seen like the 2009 like movie or Into Darkness or Beyond?
People keep telling me to, and I keep thinking, yeah, I should do that.
They're pretty good.
I just don't care enough.
It's all on Netflix, man. Like all up. If you want to watch any of like the old series, they're all good, man. It's Patrick Stewart is in Next Generation. Watch them in Next Generation.
I know people tell me, but I was like, I just.
And Wrath of Khan. You should watch Wrath of Khan. The 2009 Star Trek Into Darkness. You don't have to watch it, but it's all right if you don't care too much about Star Trek lore. It's fun. And the Beyond is pretty good. Like they're fun movies. Just watch them as like fun action movies, and like you'll be all right.
Maybe one day when I'm bored, I'll think, oh, I'll do that. We'll see how I go.
That's okay. I'm more of a Star Wars person as well. Like my like sci-fi series is Doctor Who, so it's not like that's what sci-fi on television, hooray! But I'll watch a new Star Trek series.
Good for you. I'm happy for you, and I'm happy for you and every Star Trek person. I'm like, I'm not gonna knock it. I'm not gonna say, oh, it's terrible. I hate it. It's because it's not that. I just.
Hey, there's
one of
so
those
much TV
things.
out there. I can't say like, oh, you have to watch this. I'll only say you'll have to watch it if I'm watching it and it's like, dude, this is like amazing. If it's just like regular kind of like enjoyable sci-fi, then I'm like, hey, it's good. You don't have to watch it, but I'm enjoying it. So
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know how it goes.
All
Anyway,
right.
let's move on to some.
Let's talk about some trailers. Speaking of sci-fi, Passengers.
Okay, I've got a question to ask you.
Yes, go.
Do you feel like after watching that trailer, you've seen the entire fucking movie? Because I feel like I have.
I don't feel like I've seen everything because I feel like there'll be like a lot of neat little character moments. But I feel like I've got the basic outline. I don't know entirely what the problem is. Like,
I feel like it showed far too much. Like it showed
honestly,
him
I don't care as much about spoilers as I feel like some people do because I think if it's still good, if it's still a well constructed thing, then I'll be
feel
fine.
Like this.
I don't
I
want
feel like-
major spoilers, but like broad story structure, sure, whatever.
Yeah, I feel like if you're getting into like the third trailer and your TV spots and whatever, if you've dived that far into the trailer pool, I guess you could say, that's when you can expect to be seeing that much. If you're watching like third trailer and TV spots, yes, you cannot complain if you see a spoiler in a trailer by that point.
Now, would I have preferred
the
something
first trailer?
to be a little bit more like kind of, here's a slight hint of what the film is about? Yeah, this does feel a bit more like a second or third trailer. It doesn't feel like I would have preferred like a teaser. but it looks fine. It looks fun. I'd like to see it.
It looks like a good movie that I would like to see, but it showed
It also
the ship
kind of
flying
looks-
into a sun. It showed him going on a spacewalk and he'd be like, "If you die, I die." It's like, no, you're showing me too much. I literally said out loud to myself watching this, I've seen the movie. Why do I go to the movie now? I've seen the. I don't know. It really pissed me off. I know it probably sounds like an overreaction. I know you didn't have a reaction like I'm
I have
having.
that reaction.
But
No,
it really annoyed me how much this trailer showed.
it did. I did feel it was kind of a safe bet. Like it's sci-fi's doing pretty well right now. Star Wars is big. Star Trek did
I
okay.
feel like
It's got two of like the biggest genre actors out there. Chris Pratt, who's like killed it in Guardians, killed it in Jurassic World. Jennifer Lawrence has just come off like a giant fucking one of the few like teen apocalyptic dramas that worked. She's come out of that. It feels kind of like a safe bet.
I feel like every year now there's that one huge space blockbuster movie, you know? Like your Gravity, your Interstellar, your The Martian,
That's true,
Guardians of the
and-
Galaxy.
What was that one
Yes.
Tom Hanks did? Not Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise. Oblivion. That was like the big space movie of that year.
Didn't see that. I'll
It's
tell you
all right.
though, I know a lot of people criticize it, but I fucking loved Interstellar.
I had problems with the third act. I liked it up until then, and then I
Yeah,
thought this
I
is
know
dumb.
a lot of people did, but I thought the whole movie was great. Little confusing at the end, yeah, but I got it and I liked it.
That's fine. It's not bad enough for me to be like, how dare you? It just the last act wasn't my cup of tea.
And you know, it did have a lot of let's call them Christopher Nolan-isms.
He does have a lot of isms.
Yeah.
The more I go back and like rewatch his films, I'm like, I don't like all of his little tricks that he does. Some of them are kind of dumb.
Didn't you say in a post like your 7 favorite movies that like the Dark Knight is like one of your favorite movies?
It's
That's a Nolan movie.
yeah. I still
Has
enjoy The Dark
Nolanisms.
Knight, but I still have problems with it. Just because it's one of my favorite movies doesn't mean it's one. I think it's one of the best movies. Technically.
Is there any movie you think you've ever seen that has no problems whatsoever? Do you think there's such a movie?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
I often say that Die Hard is like a perfect movie for what it is. It sets itself up perfectly. It executes it perfectly, and
I haven't seen Die Hard in years.
I watch it every Christmas. It's the best Christmas movie.
I've never been a Christmas movie person.
See, I go for like your kind of non-conventional. I don't like Christmas movies, but movies that are set around Christmas, which is usually like anything that's done by Shane Black or something kind of like Die Hard. I'm like, yeah, I'll watch that. Or Gremlins. Gremlins is a good Christmas movie.
I never liked Gremlins.
Blasphemy. Gremlins is great.
I know so many people love Gremlins. I'm like, yeah,
Need to watch it again. Try it again.
I guess.
All right. It looks good. Like, I like the aesthetic. I like the cast.
Oh yeah, it looks beautiful, and both Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt, yeah, they're good in things.
It just like I'm liking the idea. It's like, okay, it's an original sci-fi film. Cool. I'll watch that. But at the same time, it's like this. Like, if we weren't in an era of like sequels and adaptions, this would feel very much like this is a safe bet as far as like original properties go. You've got like a aesthetic that people know, and like we're like, oh, I feel like I've seen this before, but it's new. You've got actors that they like. It just feels it's original, but it feels safe, and I'm hoping that maybe I'll watch it and it's a little bit more different, a little bit more interesting.
At this point, though, anything original is like, what the fuck? Oh my god, amazing.
True. I'm more excited for is it Arrival? The one with Jeremy Renner?
Yeah, Arrival.
I'm more excited for that. That seems
When's
more
that
interesting
again? Where's my phone?
sci-fi concept to me.
Phone, come here, phone.
Brett has disappeared. I don't know where he's gone.
I'm here
Oh wait, why were you silent?
because I was finding my phone.
How dare you look for your phone?
Well, I'm looking at when they're released.
What? I'm not good enough to talk to you? Huh?
Pretty much, yeah.
How dare you? Insubordination.
Rival is the 2016 American science fiction film. Tell me when the fucking release is.
When is that coming out? 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 When that film be coming out? When the film be coming out? Tell me when that movie comes out.
November 11th.
Okay, so that's
Well, that's
November.
That's in the US, so we probably get it like a week before. That's the one good thing about Australia. We usually get movies like a week before America.
not always. Sometimes we get it months after. Like the Lego movie we got like 3 months after.
Oh, did we?
We did.
I didn't see Lego Movie till quite
What?
a bit after release. I think
Okay.
we've discussed that I went into Lego Movie with such high expectations because everyone told me how amazing it was. So it kind of let me down a bit because my expectations were so high.
This is why you shouldn't wait to see things.
Well, when the Lego Movie first came out, I didn't think it was something I wanted to see.
It was directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Those dudes can do no wrong. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, but it felt... I thought, it's a kid's movie. I don't need to see this.
Incorrect. Incorrect, sir. And
well-
bloody Chris Pratt in it. Goddamn Chris Pratt was a goddamn... And Morgan Freeman. And Nick Offerman.
I know.
Incorrect, sir. You were incorrect. You know what's not incorrect, though? Live by Night. Now, goddamn Ben Affleck is a good director. Why should he star in films where he's not directing? He should just direct his own films and be in them.
Yeah, that's all he needs to do.
Oh, yeah. Not only is he starring in this, not only is he directing this, he wrote the fucking screenplay as well.
He is a
And he's
beast.
producing it. This is pretty much his film.
Yeah. They might as well just call it a Ben Affleck.
I'm surprised they didn't say, like, in the trailer, you see it's, like, from the director of Argo in the Town. It's like, why not just say from director Ben Affleck?
Yeah, but I'd say everyone knows who Ben Affleck is.
It's like, why not just say Ben Affleck? That was a weird choice for me. But I'm super interested to see this because it's set in the same kind of time period that Boardwalk Empire is set, and it's kind of giving me that same feeling where what's that film that Bryan Cranston's in coming up soon?
Oh, the freaking it's another drug thing. I remember. It's the freaking
It's like the I forget what it's called, but yeah, the same kind of thing of that where like I've just watched Narcos.
The Infiltrator.
Infiltrator, yeah. It's like watching Narcos, and then this is like a side story, and it feels like, oh, it's set in the same universe, like it's about historical events, but it's like, set in the same thing, cool.
Yeah,
That's what this kind of feels like for like Boardwalk Empire.
It's like 1950s gangsters.
1920s,
Oh,
because it's around like Prohibition era.
I was like 30 years off. Okay.
Yeah, you're a bit off. Like, yeah, it's like
1920s gangsters. Fuck yes.
yeah, straight. It's like after World War One. It's like all these like soldiers come back, and they're like, fuck, we have all these skills for killing and know where to do that. Let's become gangsters. Let's rob banks. And it's like,
Yeah.
sweet.
Well, I knew it was after a war. I assumed 1950. You know,
Yeah, bit off, just a little bit.
bit off. I know. Still, there was still these kind of gangsters around in 1950s.
They weren't like the ones that you all know, like Al Capone and Lucky Luciano. That's all the 1920s people.
Okay.
All right, yeah, it looks super good. I'm looking forward to this. The cast is amazing. Brendan Gleeson, I enjoy whenever he pops up in a film because he's just this great Irish actor who's like, it's that motherfucker. Yes.
It was also just a very well put together trailer. The music was nice. It
It's
had a
shot
good
real
flow
good.
to it.
Like no one, I think, talks enough about like how well Ben Affleck films are shot, and this film looks like, production-wise, design-wise, and cinematography-wise, it's gonna be great. And it's got a great cast, so it'd really have to have like a really kind of dumb script to fuck up. That's like the only thing that I'm like, the dialogue's okay for like a trailer, but like visually the film looks amazing. It would have to be either be edited really bad or the script would have to be dumb for this film to not work. Because just seeing from this trailer, I'm like, this is a home run.
Like there was a lot of like cheesy lines in it, but every single trailer in the history of ever has cheesy lines in it.
Yeah. Hopefully, as like a whole, it'll be like, okay, this works as a whole. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And like in context, it might be less cheesy, you know.
All right. That's all our news. We've got one more segment, and then we're out of here. Brett, recommendations.
Yeah. So here's something that I somehow fell into last night,
Mm.
and a little bit again today.
Yeah.
I just went ahead I was about an hour last night. I was listening to like some old school tunes. I listened to
yeah.
some Elton John,
Mm.
some Billy Joel,
Damn.
some Phil Collins. I don't know how it happened, but it did. So I'd recommend doing that. Listen to some old school music because it still fucking holds up.
All right. That's interesting.
That- That's one thing I thought I'd talk about real quick. Just like you listen to some old school music. Do it.
Okay. I watched all of the HBO miniseries, The Night of, actually.
Oh yeah, I saw you post about that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like, it's a kind of a slow-paced crime drama. It's got some great performances. The main actor is amazing. I can't highly recommend it enough. There are little bit parts of it that are kind of like, oh yeah, I've seen this before. But in terms of like just portraying how like the criminal justice system is just so like fucked and like prone to human error, that like people can slip through the cracks, or like this is why like every like piece of evidence needs to be considered, because if you just assume what something looks like on face value is true, then you're not doing your job properly. And that's kind of what
Interesting concept.
no I'd
So-
highly recommend it. Super good.
Yeah. I also
It's only
watched
8 episodes, so it's like I'm glad I waited until after this was done, because this was like a super easy binge. It's like a great like one day, like I'm just gonna sit here and watch all of this. Good.
Nice.
Mm.
So, the new season of American Horror Story premiered. Thought I might give a first impression of that while I'm at it.
Yeah. How'd that premiere go? I have another premiere I want to talk about afterwards.
There was good points and there was bad points.
Mm.
There was a good point where it seems so far
Mm.
like they're straying away from supernatural stuff.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm glad, because they've relied a lot on supernatural stuff this series.
Mm.
It's like there's a lot you can do in horror that's not supernatural.
Serial killers, crazy people in
Yeah.
hills.
I mean, like they've
rednecks.
touched on serial killers within the supernatural stuff.
Mm.
Like season 2, which I still highly recommend, one of the best seasons
Was that
ever.
Asylum?
Yep,
Yeah.
because Asylum had serial killers, it had Nazis, it had aliens, it had everything. So, but yeah, so they've touched on serial killers within it, but this one, it's called My Roanoke Nightmare,
Okay.
and basically the way they're presenting it, that's probably my biggest gripe, that I don't know if this, what's the word for it? I just don't know if that is going to hold up the way they're doing it, because they're presenting it as like a true crime documentary type thing where they have two actors pretending to be real people.
Oh, I
telling
think you told me about this concept. Yeah.
Yeah, they're two actors pretending to be real people telling their story. Then they have other actors playing like the reenactment part of it. So that's a bit like it's very confusing to explain for starters.
Mm.
And it took me about 10 minutes into the episode to realize what was happening.
Okay.
And so I don't know if that's going to hold up for a whole season, that way of telling the story.
Mm-hmm.
So, but so far, the general premise is a couple moved from the big city to the country on a Roanoke Island, which is off North Carolina, I think it was. And
All right.
Roanoke Island, apparently like the 1800s, there was a big mystery about it. Because there was a whole colony of people living there. But just one day, the whole colony just vanished. So, basically, so far, from this one episode I've seen and the trailer for the next episode, it seems very like death cultish.
Ooh.
Seems like, yeah, they're living in this house and they're being terrorized by a death cult who wants them gone. That's what it seems like.
All right. Well, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to check
Could
it out.
be
Like I've kind of told myself, like, I'll watch this season. Like, sure.
Asylum. You'll love Asylum. I know you've started and stopped, but you'll love
There's
Asylum.
too much stuff to watch, man. I there's too much. There's too much out there. And we're coming back into our superhero stuff, which is what I'm going to talk about. First episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 4 aired, and it's real good. Like I'm glad the show is back. The show has just gotten better. It's darker now. They've got this like later time slot. They pretty much introduced Ghost Rider off the bat. So he seems like he's going to be a big part of at least this first half of the season. He's real interesting. I like him. I like the guy. The effects look super cool. Like he looks great in motion. I'm happy to see some more Ghost Rider. I'm hoping that they can at some point do some stuff with the Netflix people or try and tie it in to the movies a bit more, because I'd like for these films and TV shows to feel a bit more connected. Like they have kind of connected it a bit in like now that like this, because of this Sokovia Accords from Civil War, S.H.I.E.L.D. is operating a bit more in the open, and they've got a new director, and like they're back to being a government agency. So that's angle's kind of cool. They're introducing some new concepts. It's a first episode, it's a premiere, so it's just a lot of setup.
Did it explain why Phil Coulson's no longer the director?
Because like he's because like now it's back to being like a government-run agency. They wanted someone more in line with the government's way of thinking, back in control. So now Phil's been shuttled down the food chain. They've kind of separated up the main gang, so they're all in like different departments because they don't want them working too close with each other, because they were doing some crazy shit when they were just like doing it on their own.
So it feels like there's going to be like a power struggle amongst S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah,
this season.
we don't
Is
quite-
that what you're telling me?
Yeah, we don't quite see who the new director is, but there's a lot of talk about him and a lot of talk about how he's like reshuffled things and how our main like group of characters don't get to see each other much anymore, which is, it could set up some interesting dynamics. I'm looking forward to the season. Quake, she just keeps becoming a more interesting character. Now she's on her own, doing all the Quakey stuff, going around basically being like a vigilante.
So she's actual Quake now?
Oh yeah, she's Quake, and she's shooting earthquakes at people.
Do you think now that they've cancelled the Inhumans movie, they might introduce more of the Inhumans we actually know from the comic books? Like, I'd love to see them bring in Black Bolt.
I don't want them to introduce like the royal family, but maybe they could do like I forget what the dog's name is, but like that giant pug that's like a teleporter.
Oh, what's his name? Shit. Oh, I know it. Lockjaw. Isn't
Yeah,
that it?
Lockjaw. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Lockjaw in there. Maybe they could introduce some other stuff. I don't know. The only real Inhuman that I really care about is Miss Marvel, and I'd like them to do some more stuff with Carol Danvers first before they introduce her.
Wait, is Miss Marvel's an Inhuman?
Yeah, she's an Inhuman.
I thought she got her powers from an alien dude who passed it on to her.
No. That Captain Marvel isn't an Inhuman. She got her powers from the Kree, so she's got like Kree-related stuff. But Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan.
I'm getting two characters confused here, aren't I?
Yeah. No. I'm not talking about what Carol Danvers used to call herself. I'm talking about Kamala Khan, who like in the comics at the moment is an Inhuman, and I'd like to see her in the TV or movie stuff eventually, but after they've done Captain Marvel. Same way with like Miles Morales. Like, yeah, get to him eventually, not right now.
So confusing having multiple fucking characters with the same alias.
Well, that pretty much wraps it up with our recommendations. My cat has
Indeed
gotten
it
out,
does.
so I have to go get her. So let's do this quickly. If you want to talk to us or tell us what did you think about any of the news or trailers that we've talked about, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/PCMR Podcast. We're also on Twitter at PCMR Podcast. We have also our own personal Twitter accounts. I'm at Aiden's Vlog, AIDANSVLOG.
I am at meman125. If you would like, you may send us an email. I give you my permission. We have an email address, which is pcmrpodcast@gmail.com.
We also have an Instagram. We're just at PCMR Podcast. You can check us
That's a
out
thing
there.
I keep forgetting about.
It's it's a fun place to talk about stuff. I try to keep it like a fun environment. Post a lot of fan art of some various comic book stuff.
No, not of us. We don't have fans
No.
that make art.
Not yet. Yeah, if you want to listen to us, we're on YouTube, we're on iTunes. Just search PCMR Podcast or PCMR. So type in PCMR to iTunes, you'll find us pretty quickly. Give us that 5 stars on iTunes. Subscribe. Helps you subscribe on iTunes and on YouTube. Helps to make it easier to find us. We also have our own website, PCMRpodcast.net. Go there. All the social media links, all of the audio is posted there. Easy way to do all that shit.
a great place.
Until next week, I have been Aiden.
And I will continue to be Brett.
And you've been listening to the PCMR podcast. Farewell. See you later. I gotta go find my cat.
Ciao.
All right. Yes, there is. Hold on, I gotta let this dog in. Give me a second. What is it, dog?
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Barky McBarkison. Okay, I'm back.
You missed my wonderful singing.
Oh no.
Guess what I was singing?
What were you singing?
Let the dogs out.